I'll try spinning. That's a good trick. It's the Science Fiction Rating System podcast, and I am Sam Draper, joined as ever by Chris Redding.
Hello. I got a second name. I get my surname. That's nice.
Yeah, we're going professional now. And Alex Humphrey.
Thank you very much. Yes, very professional. I don't know about this. A bit too professional.
Not too professional. Well, not really, because this is our second attempt this week.
All right.
Our 10th intro and our second attempt. So we're getting there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the podcast that aims to rank every science fiction film from 1 to infinity. If you've not joined us before, we take 3 films each fortnight. We preview them, then we review them and put them into our big list. See the list at sciencefictionratingsystem.com. Follow us at SF Rating System on Twitter. Bang. Professional. Done.
Yeah. This is all spoilers now.
Yeah, we're in Spoiler City.
Spoiler zone.
We're doing 3 prequels because Alien Covenant's come out, or is coming out this Friday.
I think so.
And if you listen to last week's show, we explained we're doing Star Wars, Phantom Menace, Prometheus and Planet of the Apes. And this evening we're going to discuss what we thought of said 3 films. So, how is everyone this evening?
Not bad.
Yeah, very well. Can't wait to tell you all about the Phantom Menace.
Right, yeah. Have a second crack at that.
You said you'd convince us to put it high on the list in the opening show.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
A wonderful movie.
Well, let's start with Star Wars then, shall we? Let's start with Phantom Menace.
Okay.
So last time I went first, but I think, Chris, as the biggest booster, let's start with you explaining to us why you think this isn't a trash fire of burning shit.
Wow, just hold back on those opinions already.
Okay, over to you, Chris.
Well, I just think it's a lot of fun to watch.
Okay.
You know, there's some really good sequences, stuff which you haven't seen before in Star Wars. They invented a lot of stuff. It's really creative in that sense, as scenes and planets and the pod racing and stuff you hadn't seen before. But they're really, considering this was the first one after a long gap, he really injected a lot of stuff into it. Now, with the more recent ones, like The Force Awakens, there was nothing new injected into that at all.
You're right.
It was just a regurgitation.
I do agree with you. There is new stuff here, the stuff you haven't seen.
Phantom Menace, and I've said it before, I can't remember how many times I've said it because we've done this a few times. It's got the best sword fight, it's got the best piece of music, it's got the best villain.
Okay.
They're all really good things.
And you got any other defences for any of the things that you've...
No, I've got an arsenal here, but I'm just waiting for what you've got to say.
Well, let's Alex, you can go next.
They also invented a lot of modern filmmaking on that movie as well. Like your digital cameras. You wouldn't have a digital camera on your telephone now if it wasn't for the Phantom Menace. They invented the 1080p camera for that film.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good technological thing. It's not a reason to rate it.
I'm not in filmmaking, sort of, you know.
Yeah, okay.
It's an important film, is what you're saying.
It is.
Yeah, if we were doing the important rating system, then, yeah, we're not. So, Alex, you can go next.
Well, it's a total craft, isn't it? You know, they've invented ways of doing things.
It is, but, like, the fact that camera phones exist doesn't make my experience of the film any better, does it? You know what I mean? I'm not getting any more. I'm not sitting there thinking, well, Jar Jar Binks is like a fucking idiot, but I have got a phone on my camera, so go for it, Jar Jar.
Thanks, Lucas. Yeah.
Wow.
Right, Alex, you were...
How rude.
How rude. You were pretty down it, but you said that you were actually pleasantly surprised a bit.
I think what's going to happen is I'm in the middle of this. The anticipation of seeing this was so big. It's just so hard. If you didn't go through it, I don't know, maybe you can't remember it, but you know, the anticipation of it was so high. And I don't know, I was kind of nervous rewatching it, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The things I thought were really annoying, like Jar Jar Binks, it wasn't too bad.
That's a sterling defence.
Well, no, okay, well, I guess, well, okay, but there was, I think there are some things that are good in there. I think Liam Neeson is really good in it, and I think it's a travesty that he died. Yes, I think he's really good. He does a thing in this film that I think that proves...
There's not an actor who's really good in that film. There's not one actor that's really good.
I think he's good. I think he does a thing that is the proof of a great actor is to be good in a terrible film with a terrible script. And I think he is good. I think you believe him, you care about him.
That's a Liam Neeson thing, though, isn't it? That's his actual...
It is, yeah. That's his MO, isn't it, really? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd forgotten him, really, and I think he's way better than I remembered. I think the Queen's good.
No...
I think Padme's a good character. Yeah, the Queen, yeah. Do you not remember her? I think Padme's a good character. I think she's an interesting character. And again, I agree with Chris, it's something different. I think a pod race is really good. I think I stand out completely.
Yeah.
But yes, the problem is, okay, I'll admit, there is some really dodgy shit in there. It's... just the Trade Federation are just such terrible baddies. They're just awful. Like...
They got Mexican accents.
Well...
For some reason.
They've got terrible
Chinese, aren't they?
Yeah, well,
it's like... really racist.
Really racist,
Chinese. I thought they were Mexican.
No, it's like a proper... That's one of my notes I've got on my list of problems. So that's Alex's thoughts, so let me get into it now. So first of all...
shut up, everyone.
I'll start with the positives, okay?
Okay.
As I said last time we recorded this, the use of real sets goes a long way to make it feel more like a real sort of place and more engaging for me than either of the two prequels.
Yeah.
I think the design work is brilliant. Naboo's an amazing thing to look at.
Definitely. Some
of the ships are really cool. The way they do Coruscant's really good. Tatooine isn't as good, I don't think. Tatooine just feels like the old set with a few CG monsters walking around. Not very exciting. But I do think the look of it is really, really good. I also think that the script's awful, but I think the setup of the film is... The actual plot, the tax thing, is really, really dull, okay?
Yeah.
You can't argue that. Like, Chris, you can't argue that, can you? The actual plot, what happens in the plot...
It's not a high-stakes...
No, it's not.
It's just
to start the whole, galactic war.
Totally. But I think if they got through that and moved on to something else in the first half an hour... and it escalates to something else a lot quicker, I think it would be quite a cool opening. Because you'd be like, oh, this is a bit strange. It just dwells on it for too long. So those are the positives.
That was a positive.
Negatives. That was a positive, yeah. So, to start negatives, that's one of them. The tax thing and the whole plot is just so boring.
It's dumb.
Like, on such a monumental level, you're taking Jedis, and like we're going to see real proper Jedis having real proper fights. And all they're fighting over is a tax blockade, which even when you find out it's done by Darth Sidious, like why is that really the best idea he had to
especially when they swoop in and they take the whole city really quickly anyway, don't they? So did they even need the tax fraud thing? Because they just take the whole city out really quickly.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
I'm not sure I understand what they're getting to with the story anyway. I'm not sure what it was all about.
That's what I mean. Like, obviously, it's a play to get Palpatine into power in the Senate, isn't it? That's the end result of the film. He has got control of the Senate. But like, why would you do it that way? That is the most elaborate way, and there's so many like times that plan could have gone horribly wrong.
Yeah,
that it didn't. Like the fact the whole thing sort of hinges on Jake Lloyd pricking around in his ship and crashing into the one little thing inside the thing that blows up the whole of the Death
Star Wars trope, though.
It is, but like it's a little bit more believable when Luke Skywalker's doing it, isn't it? Like
now after Rogue One, it is, because it's explained.
What do you mean it's explained?
Why it was so easy to destroy the Death Star.
No, I don't mean the port. I mean the fact that he was driving and he was actually competent. Like all the way through Star Wars, they set up. He's a really good pilot. He shoots one Pratt off in his T-16 Skyhopper.
I bet you hated him, didn't you, Sam?
Yeah, but this kid flies pod racers. He's the best pod racer.
He's never flown a ship before in his life, though. He can't get out of the hangar, can he?
It's... What?
And to refer to my older point, I'll try spinning. That's a good trick. Like
he's got the Force.
Okay, so he's got the Force.
Midichlorians.
He's got the highest count of midichlorians anyone's ever seen.
I'm just going to say midichlorians.
Alex, that takes me on nice to our next point. Midichlorians are the worst retcon in the history of cinema. They ruin so much. And the thing also, right? There's a trend now, like with all these franchises, of over-explaining everything.
Yeah.
To go back to Alien again. No spoilers, but the Alien film out this week does a similar thing of over-explaining, and Prometheus. What is the aliens are amazing because they're a primal thing we don't understand. The Force is amazing, and Force works because it's just a thing that you're told to go with, like a fantasy film, like magic. As soon as you start going, you've got these midi-chlorians that live in your fucking bloodstream, you think, well, hang on, you've just... Yeah. This is like bringing taxes into it. You're making it boring. You're making it so dull that they can
That's
sell it on a
with
machine.
These franchises, isn't it? Because they have to sort of flush out some backstory, and that
totally,
undermines the mystery. I remember watching the Star Wars films when I was a kid, and they were like dark, very mysterious, before they'd been cleaned up. Yeah. And it was amazing. It was like when you're on like Dagobah, it's like, what the hell? Like this is really magical to watch, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah. Definitely.
They also, the midichlorians thing also makes it a bit Christian. They have all these weird kind of Christian references, like her being an angel, and like, there was no father, I carried him, I gave birth, I raised him. I can't explain what happened.
That annoyed me so much. I looked into that, and do you know what the, like, well, it's not canon anymore, but what the canon reason was for that birth?
What?
It's Palpatine basically is the father, and he manipulated the Force.
Yeah, he explains that in the third one.
Oh,
the
does
Darth
he?
Plagueis shit, yeah.
Yeah, he explains that in the third one.
Oh god, I blanked that out.
Just so awful.
That's one of the dark like powers. You can
good old Darth Plagueis. Basically, yeah. That's another problem. So what's next? So racism. That's next on my list.
Yeah, I had a problem with this.
Yeah, like it's so much more evident now. Not only the Chinese who are like they talk like Chinese people, and
they're Mexican. I think you should.
No, they're like
they're definitely Chinese. He's Korean.
That's the same thing. I mean, it's the same.
Wow,
it's still racist.
Okay. I can't cut that out. There's much cross talking there. You say that Mexican and Chinese is the same thing.
No, I'm not saying it's. I mean, it's the same. It's we've got to the same point. It's just that you've misunderstood the accent.
They're definitely Chinese. And also, Watto, is it called Watto? The little flying thing?
Yeah,
Watto, yeah.
Basically the greedy Jew of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
I don't know, because I was thinking about it, and is it in the originals?
The boy's got skills.
That's good. That's very good. In the originals, they don't really dub. No one has a kind of English accent, do they? Not really.
No.
They just got subtitles, or you just...
No, the original one, there's a lot of American accents in it for no reason.
Well...
And English, but they're not like... LA. Yeah, but they're not racial accents.
Exactly, isn't that better, though? Like, Admiral Akbar... Yeah.
Well, they've got English as all the bad guys.
No, but they're humans. But aliens is different.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I'm not alien racist.
Speciesist.
I don't see any species difference. I know what you mean though. There's character groups that they've made, and
the Jar Jar Binks thing is there's a lot of dodgy stuff with the Jar Jar Binks kind of, that's.
I mean, do we even need to mention Jar Jar Binks? Like he's like the worst.
Let's take that off the table, the discussion table.
A sucking scab of horrific.
Yeah.
Like just dragging the film down.
Yeah.
And he even looks shit nowadays. At the time, at least, he looked quite technologically impressive.
Do you believe the theory that it was originally supposed to be Jar Jar, which was like the main overlord bad
I've heard that
guy, and Lucas sort of backtracked because of the backlash against Jar Jar, so he kind of changed the story.
I have heard that. I don't believe that. I do believe, though, he was going to be either Jedi or like the Chewbacca of the film, wasn't he? And he'd been in every film alongside Anakin on his adventures. I think that's true. I think it's wishful thinking that he was a bad guy that would get killed.
He does ruin that, all the tension of that final battle. Him dicking around, it just completely ruins any kind of tension that you might have that someone might die.
Yeah.
Completely. If I was Gareth Edwards, I definitely would have put a Gungan in Rogue One and have them get the Death Star plans and somehow redeem the race.
Well, have you seen the Blu-ray version of Return of the Jedi? And at the end, they
go
where
they're jumping around,
fucking Naboo, and he shouts, "Weezer free." Jesus Christ! Just in
case it wasn't obvious enough that he was what he was supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, he basically ruins every single scene he's in, but everyone knows that one.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the terrible acting all round. Everyone involved, and I'll accept, maybe with the exception of Liam Neeson, cannot fucking act. Obi-Wan Kenobi... he spent so long trying to do an impression of Alec Guinness's voice that, he comes across as kind of this weird sort of psychopath.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I'm guessing he's meant to be like a bit rebellious, isn't he? A bit of a rogue. But there's a line when he goes, when Qui-Gon Jinn comes back to the ship on Tatooine, and he goes, "Oh, what have you done now, Master? Brought along another pathetic human life form."
Oh yeah, that's really weird.
That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? Like, what are you trying to imply there? With a smirk on his face.
I read that he said...
it's like something like, "Oh, we've picked up another useless life form."
Yeah.
Why do I get the feeling?
I read that...
It's Jar Jar Binks and the kid, yeah.
He recalled his performance in the film consisted of walking into rooms and looking up.
Yeah, that's fair enough, yeah.
I mean, I feel for him because all them films were just against blue or looking at nothing. And
yeah.
That one less so, though.
He was sick of doing them films by the end of them.
I think he acts better in the other two than the first film, doesn't he? I think he does a better job. I mean, they're still crap films, but
there's nothing to go on in this. He's just waiting for Neeson to die, basically.
He didn't have any classic Alec Guinness lines in this one either.
No.
Then you've got Jake Lloyd, who, even as a child actor, he's a bad child actor. He's like giving like Edward Furlong a run for his money. He's like worst child actor of all time. Like, he is absolutely abysmal, isn't he? Like, he just can't... That "Are you an angel" line.
Yeah. No, that is
like,
really...
Is that not the writing, though? Is that not the writing?
It's both, though. It's both. Like, it's the writing and the performance.
I think all this lands on the writer-director.
I think most definitely does. Yeah, definitely for Ewan McGregor it does. I think Jake Lloyd, though, is just bad. Like, I mean, he hasn't had a career since, has he? Like,
no. He had a breakdown since.
The problem is they change a lot when they go through puberty, and then most of them lose their looks or their voice or something.
So there's another like 12 points on my list here, but I think I'll stop because I could just keep going and going and going. Basically, it's just absolutely terrible. I hate how they have to have C-3PO and R2-D2 a long time.
I hated that. That made no... That
when you're watching
like
the film from the beginning,
rubbish.
At what point does it go wrong? You know, when you sit down, so you get the crawl, the credits, and then the ship goes past, and then the person goes like, "Oh, we've got 2 Jedi here sent from the Chancellor." At what point in the film does it go wrong?
When Ewan McGregor turns to Qui-Gon Jinn and says...
So it's the first line.
And he goes, "I've got a bad feeling about this," with a weird smirk on his face.
When they pull their hoods down.
Yeah. And I think, oh, Jesus, like, it all just flooded back to me then. To that point, I was quite on board. I was like, oh, here we go.
I kind of liked all of that stuff, that first stuff.
I think it had good and bad bits.
It went wrong for me was when they met Binks and then they went on the underwater adventure.
Yeah. No, you're true. That is probably the way it does really... Yeah, it is Jar Jar Binks. That first shot, I put it on the website, actually, in that conversation in the forest. Because you're right, that is the bit where you're like... Oh, fuck, no. Binks really is as bad as you think.
It'd be good if just one of them tanks went over him, and then that was it.
Or it's like he went back to the city and just dropped him off.
Yeah.
Because also, the other reason they take him out of that city is that he goes, oh, I need a guide or whatever. And then about 5 minutes later, he's like, I've got no fucking clue where I am. And they're completely lost, aren't they, in the core of the world?
Yeah.
So what was the point?
Also, there's a strange subtext that he's now kind of, like, owes Liam Neeson his life. Like, he's his slave. That was a bit...
His life debt.
Yeah, it's a bit...
What I don't understand is, right, if they stowed away in the invasion ships to the planet, why are they so far away from the city? Why do they have to go to an unknown race that the Trade Federation didn't even know existed to take them to the civilized city?
Well, not only that, if you think about it, like... That they land right, don't they, in the invasion party, go through all that adventure, go all the way to Tatooine, spend a few days there, go to Coruscant, come back, and then the invasion party has got to the city, haven't they? It's like they've landed on the wrong side of the fucking planet.
There's some bits where they're walking around in it in between.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
But what I'm saying is, why did that landing ship go to the jungle in the middle on the other side of the planet?
On the thing. Yeah,
they're in space. They know where the city is.
There's plenty of plot holes that picking them apart will take days.
Yeah.
What
about the battle, like the big set piece battle, like the ground battle bit?
I don't know. It's all right, isn't it? Like I don't like the robots. It's kind
of just silly, though, isn't it?
It is really,
it's silly.
The problem with the prequels is because we knew we were going to see like the Clone Wars and it was going to kick off big time. We'd all heard about them.
Yeah.
The problem is half of they've got a load of droids, so they can do that because it's not violent because it's a kids' film.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have any meaning. It's just
totally.
the droids getting chopped in half.
I think
it looks cool at first, but then it's like, oh.
I think the Roger droids are quite likeable.
Oh, I don't like them.
No? Oh, I quite like them.
You know,
I like the design of them, but I don't like them.
They're so... Why are they so fallible? Like, when he goes, we're going to Coruscant, and he goes, Coruscant does not compute, whatever. Like, you know...
No, he says Coruscant, and that's what makes him go, does not compute.
He says what?
He says the planet... Yeah, he says the planet's name wrong. That's the joke.
And that's what confuses the robot.
Yes.
So again, that's, a robot should be a bit better than that, shouldn't it?
Well, Liam Neeson knows exactly how to stitch one up.
That's true, yeah. Okay, just a few quick points as well. I won't keep going on. The pod race, that's... the actual racing's nice. The sound design of the pod race...
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's great. Yes, that is great.
The commentator is terrible.
Every shot
of the crowd is like really half-assed, and if you freeze frame it, no one knows what the fuck they're doing.
No,
the kids saying that's Wizard Annie. You know when the race ends, and that kid does a weird like long arm jump.
Yeah.
Like if that's the best shot they got of that, then. Oh god!
I hate that two-headed commentator thing because that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Awful, absolutely awful.
That's pretty crap.
Because that's like such a. That's also in episode 2 that Dex's Diner thing, like the 50s diner, all that sort of like putting our culture into Star Wars.
It's just naff.
This one, Ridley. What's the third one we're doing tonight?
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay, so Lucas and Ridley Scott. They worked a lot better when they're surrounded by no men, not yes men.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right, I need to move on, but I'll make one final point. I promise I'll stop. I'll skip so many, but I'm going to say one more thing. So I think the best thing related to this film is the computer game Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer. I'm sure you've played that, Chris,
it was,
with me, I think.
It's a good game.
It's a good game. No, I wrote that down in my notes.
Like that game, I've been trying to find it out, and I've got it off eBay to play it again because it's fantastic. And all the way through the film, I was thinking this is good. And really, the problem with this film is it would be a good computer game. It's not a good film. You know what I mean? Like settings are really good. You've got big battles, some meaningless sort of fights.
It was like totally geared up for a whole new level of merchandise.
Yeah, totally.
Merchandising.
Yeah.
I bet the work that went into that video game was more than went into most films at the time.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's just a tragic thing, really.
I think it's there's good elements, but they're just not put together in a good way.
I just massively disagree.
Yeah, it's just the execution. I think is the wrong part of it.
Yeah,
I think any of us could. Well, we'd like to think we could probably, using the same source material, make a much better script than that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, now it'd be interesting to see what literally to give like one of these modern new guys directors a go, and it could be super dark. It'd be so cool. Like,
there's nothing really in Force Awakens so far, is there? That explicitly references characters from the prequels, is there, or in Rogue One?
Yeah, there is. It's Bail Organa.
Oh, of course, yeah.
There's probably more as well.
Yeah,
probably more.
Well, there's a rumour that Darth Plagueis is in the next Star Wars, isn't there? So got that to look forward to.
Is that not the big guy?
Well, that's the rumour, isn't it?
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I hope it's not, because fuck Darth Plagueis. Just forget all that nonsense.
Want it to be Jar Jar. I love that. I was watching that film again, like the theories of how he is the bad guy, because he has got like Jedi moves in Phantom Menace, hasn't he?
Well, they've actually they've canon explained what happened to Jar Jar. Have you heard about this? There's a book came out.
No.
There's a series of now they've started.
Fell into a pit of acid.
No, but or close. Like
Shame.
I can't remember. Basically, these books have come out that are canon, set between the films, and they do these like vignettes. So they go to like different characters, and one of them is they go to a planet where Jar Jar lives, and he's basically like a social outcast. And like honestly, this is the canon thing for him. Like where basically like everyone sort of hates him and like they shun him a bit. Like he's sort of very like a hermit, like Obi-Wan.
Oh God.
And someone like asks him about why he's there or something, and he's like, "Means to do bad things, so and so years ago, whatever, and all this sort of stuff." And, yeah,
I'd love to have redeemed the Gungans in Rogue One. Like have them like that last bit where they have to get the plans through the gap in the door. Like...
No, you know what the best thing, right? Is if that the new Empire, or whatever, they're like flying in. You just see that they've just got the hats on and the ships and all that sort of stuff. And you see them attacking and all that sort of things. And they go back, and like the commander's there. He's got a helmet on, and he takes it off and turns around and he goes, "You are people gonna die?" And then they all take their hats off, and everyone in the new Empire is a Gungan.
The whole lot of them. 6 films before were really just for the Gungans to take over.
Yeah, that would have worked. That was the long game.
Okay, let's get to rating this, shall we? Who should we? Chris. Let's start with Chris because he's the most positive. Although I'm not sure actually. I think I'm just before we continue. I'm glad, like, that you are... After the last episode, I thought you were insane, but it turns out you're not, so... You've said a lot of, cogent points, so...
What did I say before?
You're like, best this, best that, it's brilliant. And I was just... And obviously, we didn't get long enough to get to the negative bit. So I walked away from that thinking, my God, Chris has just gone
I think I put it, like, out of all the Star Wars films, I would go probably Empire, Rogue One, Jedi, and probably the Phantom Menace.
What?
Wow.
Okay. I would put it above the original, probably.
So in this list, then, so you're saying you should go at number 2 in this list?
Oh no,
no, because the list doesn't work like that. We've already spoken about that.
Okay, so where should it go then, Chris? You have gone mad though.
I would put it at number 11.
Okay, Alex?
Wow. I would say 19, so below Edge of Tomorrow, above Inner Space.
That's exactly what I was going to say, 19. Yeah. Because I think that, although I'd rather watch Flash Gordon again, that's
You'd rather watch Flash Gordon before Phantom Menace?
Yeah, because it's hilarious, but it's also awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think we've hit this spot before in that sweet spot of Edge of Tomorrow because... It's sort of that's the cusp between sort of okay films and shit, isn't it? And I think this is not complete shit because it's still Star Wars, but it's not better than Edge of Tomorrow.
No,
it's so much more creative than I just can't get over how bad the Force Awakens was.
That's not on the list yet, though, is it?
Yeah, I know, but that's what I compare it to because it's sort of a re-kick of a new trilogy, isn't it? But
no, you shouldn't compare it to that. You need to think about the list. Separated from that.
But that was made after everything we know.
No, but think about your experience of watching that film, like in this past week.
Yeah.
Forget Force Awakens, forget the other ones.
Enjoyed
best
it.
You can.
I watched it.
Loved it.
Watched it. I couldn't wait until the fight at the end because I knew the fight was so good. And
so what did you say? 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
How the tension and it moves between the space and the fight and stuff and the music. It's just really. I think it really moves. It's great.
I'd accept 17.
What's 17 above Independence Day?
Above Independence Day.
he keeps pressing the nuclear button.
I don't think it's better than Independence Day.
Right. Okay.
It's not better than Independence Day. Come on.
It's not, but we've clearly already talked about how this list doesn't work.
But I don't think it is as good as Independence Day.
No, it's not. But Independence Day should be a lot higher.
Oh God! But is it better than Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. Edge of Tomorrow is a poor film.
I'd accept it being better Edge of Tomorrow. Actually, yeah. I mean, Phantom Menace is a poor film too. Edge of Tomorrow is like a very middling average film. Phantom Menace is
there's a lot going on. It's creative.
But it's badly acted, badly written. Yeah. Badly shot in a lot of instances. Whereas at least Edge of Tomorrow is like competently made.
The camera phones. Think about the camera phones. You couldn't have made Edge of Tomorrow without the Phantom Menace.
Well, should we put it? So were we 18?
Yeah.
Above Edge of Tomorrow? That's a compromise.
Yeah.
It's a compromise.
I pulled you at 1. I'm happy with that.
Well, it's out of the way. We've made it through Phantom Menace. Only 2 more prequels to go.
Lightly, I thought.
Yeah. So Phantom Menace joins the list at number 18. have a quick break, and we'll be back with some monkey magic. And we are back with our second film. From what year?
2011.
Thank you, Alex. 2011. It is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. A prequel and a reboot.
Bit of both.
So I'll start this time, and I'll start at the end.
I think it's a reboot. It's not a prequel.
No, it is a prequel.
No, it's a bit of both.
It is a prequel because you see twice in the film the Icarus taking off, and that's the ship that Charlton Heston comes back to Earth in.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if they continue making these films and they get to the point where the last ones pick off, they're not going to stop and say, we've done the prequels to this, so we'll stop now. What I'm saying is, they'll carry on making them past the old films.
Yeah, and there'll be remakes.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a prequel because Icarus takes off. It's definitely a prequel because you see the Icarus go into space.
Well, it's the same story.
It's like an alternate reality prequel.
Yeah, so they could stop this trilogy now. They'd end the trilogy, and then it would carry on, wouldn't it?
It's
clearly it's clearly going to end in a situation where it could lead on to those films. That's obviously what they're doing with it. Otherwise, they wouldn't bother putting Icarus in, wouldn't they? So anyway, so I was going to start at the end of the film. Because it's one of the best credit sequences of any film, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's good, that. Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, basically, obviously the virus needs to spread, and the film ends with a pilot getting the virus, and then just line shots of the disease spreading around the world. No exposition, no need for like clunky dialogue or big screens of text. You know exactly what's going on, and it's just so perfect. And I think a lot of the reason I like this film is because that credits is so good. I'm like, fuck yeah.
And they pick it up on the second one, don't they?
They
on
do,
the
yes.
opening credits.
Yeah.
Alex, what do you think of this one then?
Oh, no, I really liked it. When we watched the trailers in the last podcast, this has the worst trailer by far. It just gives away the whole film.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh, yeah, I remember that. But they almost re-edit the film in a really shit way. And the film itself is just, it moves like those 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes set up everything really, really, really well. With the whole Bright Eyes getting killed and all that stuff, and him adopting Caesar. And I just think it's a really good blend of like really good bit of horror, really good bit of sci-fi, the kind of family drama element, the viral outbreak element. It just all works really, really well.
You know, you're saying about the trailer being bad, and I think I mentioned, because I thought it's because they got no confidence in the film.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with this film was the editing in the third act, and especially the music over it, which was just so over the top and incessant and constant. And that reminded me of the trailer, and it made me thought, like, maybe they didn't have much confidence in this bit either. And they tried to really they really put in your face on that bridge. Did you find that? The music was really not good and over the top?
I know what you mean. It's a good final battle, though. It's a good kind of big fight. You want a big cathartic fight.
It is good, and I like that. Like James Franco can't save the day, particularly.
Yeah, because you're rooting for not humans. You're rooting for us to be destroyed, which is a pretty mucked up thing to be rooting for.
Yeah, making that a thing is a clever.
Yeah, and I like how these characters are kind of. Yeah, they haven't got any control over where the plot's going.
No.
And there's one in this first one, and there's a similar one in the second one, how they, obviously, because it jumps through time quite a lot to tell the story, that there are these people as pop up every 10, 20 years who have influence, but they can't change where it's going. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, all the decisions James Franco makes are pretty, like he doesn't do anything wrong, really. He just makes kind of decisions. You don't think, oh, I never would have done that. It's kind of, he does what you think you should do, really.
Yeah. What do you think of his acting, though? I think he's the weakest link in this film, to be honest.
He's all
right. Yeah, he's better than he's been in most other things.
I think he really goes too high. He hams up, the my dad's dying of Alzheimer's thing, and he's really like very sort of, I don't know, he just felt a bit over the top, like he's trying very hard to be a serious actor in a way. I just didn't really buy it. But on the other side of that, John Lithgow is incredible, isn't he?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like a really clever and sensitive and yet like engaging, portrayal, isn't it?
He was always good.
Yeah.
He is. He's a brilliant actor, yeah. And really, like, I mean, the fact that you've got him, as a seriously ill person and a monkey carrying a big blockbuster film is pretty amazing, isn't it? They managed to pull that off. Like, it's quite a...
There aren't any monkeys in this, they're apes.
Sorry, apes. Yes, sorry. And you've also got Brian Cox, excellent as ever as well.
But not really, bit underused, doesn't really do much.
The worst in it is the kid from Potter.
Malfoy,
Yeah,
and he gets the damn dirty apes line, doesn't he? Which is a bit of a shame. But
I mean, when I first watched this film, because I hadn't watched the old ones, I just thought there were people in ape costumes. Yeah, and they were silly, really. And I thought, I'm not sure how they're going to really get, because I don't normally like comic book films. I don't find them, believable. I thought but I was watching this, and I was totally like, when they get that gas. And then they'll wake up and they're like smarter.
Yeah.
It's like, and then he says his first line, doesn't he? He goes, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that is done really well.
It's a great moment. Yeah. They earn that, don't they? They really do. The first.
It really does. I mean, for something quite silly, and how the hell, for a serious film, are they going to sell this?
Totally.
Actually happening. They do it.
Yeah, do. I think that's why it's so surprising, because it is like a B movie punching above its weight, isn't it? Like, there's so many ways it could have gone wrong, and so many ways they could have, done something a lot more silly and ridiculous, and they don't. And it's
probably because the Tim Burton film was so terrible as well that they kind of trusted maybe to gave the.
Well, they were still in the men in suits situation. There. That was the problem with that.
Yeah. Another criticism of mine is the boss character. I can't remember his name, but Joan Franco's boss.
Yeah, he's
cool. Oh yeah,
every line he says has to mention money.
Yeah. No, he's just a giant cliche. He's just a bit ridiculous, isn't he? But
you just can't forget that he really, really likes money, and he's late for his meeting. And
it doesn't even make sense, because if you're developing drugs and you're the boss of the company that develops the drugs, they take about 20 years to develop a drug. The person who's the boss of the research facility is not involved with any monetarisation of that drug.
Yeah. You've got to have the man, haven't you? You've got to have the government. You've got to have the. It's his fault, isn't it? Really. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He's a bit of a device. He's just a device, really, isn't he? He's not really a fleshed out character.
He had a good death. Did he fall off a helicopter or something?
He's pushed off the edge, isn't he? By the great big one. That
bonobo's quite scary, isn't he?
Isn't it the gorilla that's scary?
No, the bonobo
with the scarred face.
What's his name?
The bad guy in the second one. He's scary. Yeah. Yes.
That's a bonobo. That is.
It's clever, like how they do put little cues on to differentiate them, make it easy to tell which one's which and stuff like that. And I mean, really, the CGI doesn't look that good now, does it? But you still buy it, don't you? There's no point where you're thinking, this doesn't look very.
I mean, but the advances again they're making the second one is just another leap, and I'm sure the new one will be even.
Have you seen the trailer for the new one?
Yeah.
It looks really good. I mean, I didn't like the second one at all, but this one, I like Woody Harrelson. It looks.
Well, hopefully we'll get some proper war on this one. Hopefully, the new one.
Isn't it called War for the Planet of the Apes?
I think a war. Yeah.
They better deliver then. They better deliver that war.
I don't know. I've had Star Wars films which don't really deliver.
That's true.
Yeah, just watch one. Yeah. Yeah. What else have we got? The Icarus stuff. Yeah, like that. Little nods to that. It's just a good cast, isn't it? I mean, really, it's just a very solid film, isn't it?
There's a bit where he's making a model of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, that's a really good bit.
That's funny. Yeah, because that's when John Lithgow is having his breakdown outside, and there's a sound design film about the making of the sound design on that sequence.
Yeah,
and because he's trying to get all the sound starts going backwards and upside down and stuff. It's quite
but you know what the ape does with the Statue of Liberty?
What?
Like it's like knocking it over, and that's the first moment in the film when it realises that humans are bad.
Yeah.
That's a nice callback to obviously the Statue of Liberty in the sand. This isn't. I stole this from somewhere else. This isn't my point. I read this somewhere. But that's such lovely imagery, isn't it? That
and also his window. That shape of the window, which is their emblem.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. No, that's really cool. I think it's funny.
It's clearly been written by people with a lot of reverence for the
someone's
old ones,
actually thought about things, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex, what are you going to say then?
No, I think reading about it, I think it's funny that everyone kind of heralded Andy Serkis for the performance, but I read that they used other people because the effects people said Andy overcame the character at times. So it's not always him. It's actually sometimes a double or sometimes... And that's kind of funny when he was given such praise, like, oh, you're such an amazing actor. Well, it's not always him. It's a bit weird.
Just a bit. I think the second one, though, he's more there in that one, isn't he? And I think...
Yeah.
As much as I didn't like the second one, I think the performance of... What's the ape called?
Caesar.
Caesar, yes, of course, yeah. Was really good.
It's hard to believe in these that there isn't a single chimpanzee on set ever.
No, definitely.
Yeah, oh no, that's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, it is. It's. I mean, that's go back to Phantom Menace. Like that's one of the good things to come out of that, revolution in stuff like that. Yeah, the camera phone they filmed this film on. Yeah. All right, I don't think there's much more to say, is there? Really? I mean, it's sort of there's not much to get angry about. I mean, it's good. No. It's not brilliant, but it's a good film, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it does, as I say, it punches above its weight. And I think a telling thing is that if you were asked to reboot Planet of the Apes, you probably wouldn't come up with that, would you?
No.
You never think of it. And that's why it works, I think.
I'd have probably done something more like the Tim Burton one.
Oh dear.
Which actually, I don't really detest the Tim Burton one.
It's so bad.
It's really bad. Yeah.
So bad.
It's bad, but it's
not. No, it's so bad.
Detestable.
Oh.
I don't understand how he still makes films because they're not even very successful, are they? Most of his films. Well, I think all his films nowadays are flops, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's got his missus in it doing the same thing all the time. He's got a few of his mates doing
Johnny Depp doing whatever.
Yeah.
But he still gets like massive budgets, doesn't he?
They all just ring him in, don't they?
Yeah, it's weird.
He's got some scribbles that he can sell someone. Like some scrawl, he goes, yeah, that's my storyboards.
Yeah. All right, let's rank it. Chris, where do you think? You went last time, didn't you? Sorry, Alex, you go first.
17, below Paprika, above Independence Day.
Oof. Okay. I'll go second. I think 15, above District 9, below They Live.
Ooh.
Chris,
I'd go 11.
What?
Yeah.
It's that what Wall-E divide, isn't it? Because in Chris's mind, nothing's as good as Wall-E.
Wall-E is a wall. I think we might have put Silent Running slightly too high on this.
No, not high enough.
I think it's too high, yeah.
No.
I think it's too high.
Yeah.
11.
That's too high.
It's a good movie.
But it's... So, let me just... Because you keep going for 11, is it because basically everything below that you just don't like?
No. Well, I've got problems with
11
Eternal
to
Sunshine.
16.
I never really connected with that. And Silent Running, I think, is too high.
Yeah.
Her, I definitely didn't connect with. So, I mean, below that is a bit of a... It drops off for me, I have to say. Until we get down to Independence Day. And then we're back on board.
What did you say, Alex?
I said 17. Below Paprika.
17. So that's... And I said 15, didn't I? And Chris said 11.
What's wrong with the film?
Well, it's just nothing... It's just not, like, mind-blowingly original or, like... It's not, like, important or exciting. Or I've got no particular urge to go back and watch it. It's just a film, isn't it? It's a well-made film, but it's just a film.
I agree.
There's no particular vision involved. There's no... this story's not so amazing that you've not seen it before. There's nothing as groundbreaking as Aliens or as...
The apes take over.
Well, they don't yet, do they, though? And also, it's been made before. It's a prequel.
Yeah, exactly.
It is done before.
Yeah,
and that's,
exactly.
And I think... And that's why it's clever and why it's good, is because it plays on that and,
Give me a lot to think about this film.
No, well, it's going to go down more than up for me, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think it's better than Paprika, and I don't think it's better than Independence Day, to be honest with you, but I do think it's better than District 9, so that's why I put it at 15.
Okay.
But Alex, you said 17, didn't you?
Yeah, I said lower.
What about above District 9?
I'd take between Independence Day and Star Wars, Episode 1.
You'd take that low down?
I'd take 18.
From 11, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what I think is going to happen with this list? I think that between Wall-E and Independence Day, they'll never move, will they?
Well, they're two. Yeah, I mean, for me, they're like two hills in this list, and everything sort of flows down from them to mountains on there.
Well, hang on, that's lower than what both of us said, though, isn't it? So if you're saying that now, should we put it?
I'm easily movable.
Alex, what did you say again? Sorry, 17.
Above Independence Day, 17.
Should we go 17 then?
Yeah, right.
Because I said 15, and you did say 11 first.
It's a good quality movie.
Yeah,
good quality movie.
It's good. In the same way that Independence Day is good, in that like it's all right. Independence Day is not actually that.
Yeah. I mean, if people goes, what's a really good sci-fi film? Not in a million years would I go Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Well, there you go. That's a good way of thinking about the list. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Good. Cool. Who directed it? Do we know?
I've got it written down. Rupert Wyatt. Not done much. I've written down next to his name.
Cool. Right. One film to go. And we'll be back with that in a few seconds. We're back. It's part 3. We've got one more prequel to go.
It's the big
one. The most
one.
relevant. It's a big one. Alien Covenant is the second prequel to the fantastic film Alien, and its fantastic sequels, Aliens and Alien 3. But yeah, this film is from 2012, I believe. Yes. Yep. Directed by Ridley Scott, who obviously did Alien and a load of other crap. And Blade Runner, which isn't crap, actually. And yeah, this is a prequel.
Robin Hood.
Awful.
The Martian.
Yeah, so Prometheus. Shall I start?
Yeah.
Go.
So, I've got a lot to say about it. So, but
okay,
basically,
just start.
So I didn't like it. I didn't like it when I first saw it. I liked it even less this time. For lots of reasons. Like I really, really like Alien and Aliens and Alien 3, and I love that world. I absolutely love it. Like those are 3 of my top 10 science fiction films, without a doubt. So, as I said last time, when I saw that trailer, I was excited because I love the mythos of it, and I love the idea of the engineers, all that kind of stuff. But I should have realised that, like we said, in Phantom Menace, you should never find out. Really, you should just keep it as what is the engineer. So one problem with Prometheus is that it's over-explaining something you don't need over-explained. But that's not the biggest problem with it. The biggest problem with Prometheus is it's just not a very good film, is it?
No.
It's not scripted well. It doesn't make much sense at all. The plot, endless plot holes. Very, very little actually happens. Like, it's very boring. There's, it's not... There aren't that many set pieces and stuff like that. And the ones that are in it are ripped off from other Alien films.
Or just fucking stupid.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the best thing going for it, really, is the look of it. And the first, say, 10 minutes or so. Brilliant music. The opening shot of flying over, Earth and the engineers.
The sci-fi stuff in it is good. The stuff.
Yeah, the ship design's nice. All the shots of David at the start walking around with, is it Chopin playing? Or all that's beautiful.
All the viral stuff that they did for David was good as well.
Yeah, the David siren was. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. And also, what's frustrating about that is I love the idea of him watching Lawrence of Arabia, and they're like, he's like learning lines, and you're aware that something's going on with David, and he's like quoting from it and stuff like that. And I love that kind of thing, like that sort of inviting you to look under it as more context. Yeah. The problem with it is that none of that context makes much sense. So just one more thing before we carry on. Prometheus, you're both aware of the myth of Prometheus?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what has that... Well, no, 2 problems. The ship's called Prometheus, correct?
Yeah. It wasn't originally.
No, it wasn't originally, but it is, yeah. And they get there, and on the mural, there's like clearly a Prometheus sort of figure with the chest, the alien cracked side. Kind of coincidence there, isn't it? Kind of a big coincidence. But also, Prometheus is about... he's punished because he gives machinery to humans, like fire, the first machine. And that's why he's punished. So how does that work with the story. How is the story telling that story?
It doesn't. Because
in any way, does it?
No,
it's just a cool word.
Yeah.
It's a cool word that you're hanging your entire thing on, though, and you're inviting people to look further by calling it that, but not calling it Alien Zero. By having
they talk about the use of technology and, with Wayland, and he wants to live forever and all this. They talk about them.
Yeah, live forever. But that's not the Prometheus myth, living forever, is it? That's nothing to do with God's giving man power.
Wasn't it originally called Paradise Lost, but they changed the name?
It was originally called Engineers, then it was called Paradise Lost.
Yeah.
But Paradise Lost would have made a lot more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
that's more about people going to hell and Anyway, I've got more to say, but I won't keep hogging it. Chris, Prometheus, thoughts?
I think the expansion of the alien story written in Prometheus was rubbish.
Yeah.
I thought what they've added is crap.
Yes.
Like, it could have been I thought of a better story walking out of the cinema than what. Like, I thought, it would have been much better if there was a load of humans there. They bumped into a load of aliens. They're on the developmental stage of this weaponry, and then it's the same planet as what was in Alien, right? Yeah. So the creature they find in the suit in Alien with the chest burst, right, is actually one of them humans from Prometheus, tried to escape. It had already been impregnated, got into the machine to try and pilot it out, and it came out of him. So what we were looking at in Alien all that time, inside that thing, there was a human, and we never knew it.
Yeah, so that would have been really cool.
That would have been good. Yeah, that would have been really good.
Yeah.
And I thought of that, and they've got people paid a lot of money, and they just extra shit on top, a different, and they at the end they changed the ending, didn't they?
Yeah.
She goes off to another planet.
As I mentioned previously, and off the thing, I've read the script it was based on. But what I'll do is at the end, basically, we'll have a little bit on that. I think because I'll just basically explain to you how it was meant to be. It's different. But first of all, Alex, what do you think about Prometheus?
I saw this film and I didn't like it much, and then I saw you, and you told me that I should hate it because it was so awful, and then you proceeded to half an hour tell me
the opposite when Sam tells me that.
Yeah, I think the prequel to science fiction rating system is me and Alex sat in a pub with him shouting at him for 2 hours about Prometheus, probably.
So, but the thing is, you were right. It is fucking just garbage. I was so angry watching this. It just made me so angry. Yeah. It's just so stupid, and it feels like Ridley Scott's watched a conspiracy theory documentary about aliens being basically God, and then he wants to make a film out of that, but can't get the money, so pretended to make an alien film instead.
Yeah.
It's just got nothing to do with aliens at all, really. It's just a complete waste of time.
My problem is that I am always bamboozled by the tech side of things, the actual sci-fi stuff. So I can come away from a really shite sci-fi film, but I'm interested in
you enjoyed the stuff,
the ships and the suits. How did that suit work? How many decks are on that ship? What deck is engineering on? That sort of stuff. And that's just me. But
you're right. That is as good in this film as it was in Alien, isn't it? Like, the ship design's brilliant. I love all the technology stuff.
The designs of stuff is quite good. I mean, that stuff is up there, but it's the actual basic storyline is terrible. There's some really annoying characters in it as well. There's two Scottish characters who I want to murder.
The acting is bad, wall to wall, isn't it? Really, as well. Yeah. Like the Scottish woman is completely terrible.
Yeah. She says something about Everest. Everest would be the baby brother.
She's just like a big clumsy leaden exposition machine, isn't she?
Die in a painful way.
Yeah.
I don't think the lead, I don't know how you say her name, is it Noomi Rapace, is it?
Yeah.
Noomi Rapace?
No, yes, yeah.
I think she's awful.
Her accent is so bad, it's so grating. It just, Charlie.
I hate that quasi religious stuff he's tried to put in. There's no way in her field in the future she'd go to that planet and be a Christian.
There isn't, but I think there's a core of a good idea there, in that the idea of faith versus technology, and the idea someone who has got faith like that is confronted by aliens and how do they react to it. There's a good story to tell there, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Of someone who is a scientist.
That person would be on Earth in today's time.
Not necessarily. I think you're reducing faith to like something much smaller than it is, and like people do. Obviously I'm not into that kind of stuff, but I can understand how it would happen.
I just don't think it's a well fleshed out character. I don't believe.
Oh no, not at all. The way they do it is terrible, but I think there's a good idea there.
It is a very good idea.
Yeah,
it's a super idea, but that character, I don't buy it.
There's one line, isn't there, where he says to what do you know, you're up here, and she goes, well, who made them? Like who made the engineers?
But that's what I say. That's what I say about God when they go, well, who made God?
Well,
it's the same thing. It just carries on going. All you've done is just move the goalpost.
Yeah, I'm not defending it. I'm saying like that is the extent of how they get into it, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
That is all they do. That line, it's sort of a bit.
But that's what I mean. It's like sloppy writing. It's like
awful writing.
Yeah.
The two who get trapped in the egg room and think the best place to sleep is surrounded by his eggs.
Oh, well, that was obviously... As soon as them two split up, it's like, we've seen this millions of times.
Also, that guy, he's the guy who's mapping the place out and he can't find his way out of the ship.
Why don't they have those mapping things in any of the other Alien films? Because it would totally have basically solved... Well, Aliens would have been really useful.
It's and like when the little worm comes out of the ground, and they already know it's an alien environment, and they're like, "Oh, let's start poking it."
Yeah.
Come here, little guy.
Just track back, right?
Yeah.
So there's this goo. There's the goo in them containers, right? Which is the weapon.
Yeah.
And that works. Am I right in thinking it latches on to pre-existing biological organisms and makes them mental?
Yeah, well, it doesn't, does it? It turns someone into a zombie. It turns someone into a superhuman.
All I'm saying is it just like it stacks the deck again of
it does
DNA to make something else.
It just does whatever they want it to do.
It reshuffles DNA, right? It all starts because there's a caterpillar in the dirt, right? So there is life on this planet now.
Yeah,
which is native to this planet.
Yeah.
And they've got all the equipment to find life. That's their primary job.
Yeah.
And they can't... I'm not saying it's not intelligent. I mean, but there are bugs walking around.
Yeah, you would spot it. Yeah, you'd think they'd get it. Yeah. But also, what I couldn't work out as well about those... I mean, the whole thing, it doesn't deserve working out. But like those worms... If they are those worms post-mutation or pre-mutation?
No, that's what I'm saying. They were in the ground and they got dripped on by the goo.
And they mutate into those big worm things.
Yes.
Yeah. So how has that not happened earlier?
Yeah, why did it wait till now?
That's what went wrong before with the engineers. So
why weren't there just worms everywhere, like wandering around?
I don't know, because they found a planet which has got pre-existing life on probably, and they shouldn't have done that. And also, the whole evolution of how the alien organism comes about...
that's such bullshit.
Starts with these caterpillars. Yeah. Is that right? It starts with the caterpillars on the Earth in this planet?
Well, I won't... I don't know. I really want to tell you the spoilers from the next film because it'll change what you think about this even more. But
all I'm saying is the thought it's gone into it is horse shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
So I'll say one other positive thing about it. There's one good scene in this film for me.
Let me see if I can guess which one it is.
Go on, try and guess it.
Does it involve a child?
Is it a David scene?
No, it's not.
Is it the surgical scene?
It is the self-abortion.
Oh yes, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That's the
again because it's tech.
Of like
there's
proper,
some good tech going on there.
Yeah, good tech, proper body horror, like proper claustrophobic, trapped in a tube, like orchestrated, tense alien action.
Yeah,
isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
But that's it.
And it sticks. It sticks out, doesn't it?
Charlize Theron does nothing. She doesn't do anything.
Her character's really weird.
She takes up half the ship with her flat.
Yeah.
And all she's there is just to, as far as I can see, is just to have a spacesuit on and look good.
Well, she's there to be
given any functional.
She's there as the Burke character, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
That's why she's there. But
she
then
doesn't even do that, really.
But you've got Wayland sat in the back, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's such the proto Burke.
Yeah, it's such a dumb reveal when she's like, father. Like, it's just like, who cares? Like,
it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
and why is Guy Pearce in all that makeup? Why not just have an old person? What? Ugh.
Yeah, he looks awful, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because they wanted to do the viral TED Talk with Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
Well, fuck that.
It's so flawed.
Yeah.
It'd been better if they'd used the old guy who was Bishop.
Yeah. Lance Henriksen. Because they used him in Alien vs Predator, didn't they?
Yeah,
he was Wayne, wasn't he, in that? Which is a bad film.
He'd probably
That's
look
a good
about
idea.
the same age now, right? He'd probably look just
he
about
probably would look really
now.
old. Yeah, he probably would. Yeah. He's a better actor than Guy Pearce as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all pretty down there. Before we move on to the ranking...
Oh, Idris Elba.
Yeah.
He's having a laugh, though.
I think he's overrated here as an actor, but everyone says he's great, but I just don't buy it. He's playing the same thing all the time.
He's just having I think he just turned up and just did his lines and had a laugh.
He could be Bond. He couldn't be Bond.
What was that? Sorry, Alex.
I just think he turned up and had a laugh. I don't think he's really acting. He's just mucking around.
Yeah. I don't buy his accent at all. His accent's not very good.
It looks like there's a similar character in the new one played by that comedy guy.
Right, shall I do you want to do deep dive?
Tell us about
facts?
Engineers.
Right,
Go for it.
So, basically, there's two writing credits in this film. John Staff, or Stave, something like that, and Damon Lindelof of Lost fame. So, I'm guessing you've seen Lost, or some Lost, both of you. Probably not all of it, because it's shit.
I saw half of the first episode.
Bit of it.
But basically, the idea of it is it's a mess of plot threads that kind of don't come together and don't really resolve. Sound familiar in a way? Sound familiar?
Well, it's a modern way of writing films.
So basically, John Stafe wrote this film called Engineers, and it was explicitly an Alien prequel, which is passed over for years and then is given to Ridley Scott, and they say to them, Fox say, we don't want to make an Alien film. And so rewrites are done where they basically strip out all the Alien stuff and make it a different thing.
Right.
And then, towards the end of that, they realise, oh, no, this is a stupid idea, and they have to cram Alien back in again. Which goes some way to explaining why it's such a strange addition that doesn't really fit. But the original Engineers the script's still not great, to be honest with you, but it's a lot more of a coherent film. So the characters are basically the same but different names, and they are still it still starts the same with they finding ruins and the engineers seeking life on Earth. But the difference being that Wayland doesn't go on the ship, and he's not going there for eternal life. He's going there to terraform LV-246.
Oh, okay.
So he's basically on Mars. So you know in Prometheus, there's a couple of lines where they refer to the aliens as Martians.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of doesn't make much sense. Yeah, when they're walking around, they say a couple of times, and that's left over from the script basically, where they were all from Mars, where they were terraforming that, and he was going out there because. In
the video, he's giving to people they're terraforming Mars.
Yeah, but he's not going to LV-246 to terraform that, is he? He stays on Mars in the original script and sends them out to do that. So that is because he has got the technology from the what they call the engineers. He's seen the research and realises, they've got that out there. Let's go and do that and terraform it. So there's a different dynamic. The crew makes more sense because the crew don't want to be there. There's a whole thing about how they normally get a bonus, but they're not getting a bonus now. No, they normally get a cut of what they find, but now they're only getting a bonus.
Probably all that tax.
They're all a bit pissed off. Yeah. So they're all kind of pissed off, and that all makes a lot more sense as well. And they get there, and basically, it's a lot more explicit about there being an alien there. And it just all makes a lot more sense. It's it's not brilliant still, and there's still a lot of stupid stuff goes on, the same sort of stupid character moments, but there's no, and there's that zombie bit still in it, but there's no, it's not got this weird problem with deciding if it's an alien or not.
Yeah.
And also, just the setup makes a lot more sense. It just seems a lot more coherent. But anyway, so that all is a coherent thing, and then Lindelof comes in and rewrites it, and clearly at the last minute, they decided, when they went back to Alien, not only do we want to do this Alien, we want to do a lot of other films as well. And that's why you get her flying off in a ship, and you get this stupid nonsense with, that last stupid shot of that weird alien popping up.
Yeah.
Do you remember that when it fades back in again? You see the alien at the end?
Like a dinosaur alien.
So let's rank it. I'll go first. This film goes at number 24. Below Spaceballs.
Is Chris going to say 11?
Above Universal Soldier.
It's better than Universal Soldier, yeah, I'll give it that. It's better
I'm going to put it at 22 because Flash Gordon is horseshit.
Alex?
26. It made me so angry, I don't care. Universal Soldier didn't make me this angry.
Nice.
I'm sorry. Fuck this film.
I like it.
Because I think it just spits in your face.
We've never had that before where one of us just go, fuck this film.
No, it just spits in your face. It's just like, oh, do you like Alien? Well, fuck you, basically. That's how I felt. I just felt so... I felt more annoyed watching this again than I did at Phantom Menace. Way more.
And me, definitely. I'm so glad, Alex, that you realise this now.
Yeah. You infected me. You're like that really worm.
Detesting it.
You're like, if we'd have done this after I watched it in 2012, I'd have said 26 because I'd have been so venomously angry about it as well. But I've got to come to terms a bit more. But no, it's not better than Spaceballs. So what did you say, Chris? 20 what? 22?
22.
Chris said 26. Sorry, Alex, 26.
I'm not particularly fussed because I like the science in it, but the science is crap. I don't like the science. I like the machines in it. I don't like the science is horseshit.
Let's go 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one film in the world worse than this, and that's Scanner Darkly.
Yeah.
That was worse.
Yeah, that was worse.
What's his name? Ridley Scott.
You know when the aliens right at the beginning, you know where I don't understand it. They drop in the DNA into the sea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's that? Is that supposed to have started life on Earth?
Yeah. In the original script for that bit, it then cuts to like some primitive humans who get infected. But basically, that's an airborne. There are little insects in the original script.
Ah, right. Okay.
And they take off and they fly away and they infect the people and the life on Earth. And that's where it all comes from.
It probably would have seemed. It would have been better if it was something was unleashed. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. That's what I mean.
No,
it's
it makes no sense.
You don't put DNA into the water back then. And then you end up with everything now.
It doesn't make sense, and it tries to make up for not making sense by trying to bamboozle you with like posh quotes and price and stuff.
Spaceships.
Yeah.
And
but let's move on.
Bamboozled for a little while.
So
fuck it. That's the end. It's at 26. So that's what we've got new this week. We've got Phantom Menace at 19.
Isn't it funny how like Ridley Scott's going to be at the top and the bottom of this list, isn't he?
He won't be at the top.
Well, he'll be near the top and he'll be
actually,
near
no. In fact, no. He might be number 1 and number 2, actually, if I've got anything to do with it.
Oh,
no. Yeah. Because I love The Last Kingdom. That's not a science fiction film.
Gladiator is a science fiction.
No, it's not. And it's awful. Right, we've got to move on. So, that's the end of this week's episode.
What's next week?
Next time.
What's the theme?
The theme is... my dad's going to be happy. It's his favourite actor. It's Bruce Willis week.
Woo! What could we do? We could do so many films.
We could. Don't say any.
I'm not going to.
We'll leave it up to the audience to write in. Let us know. What is your favourite Bruce Willis science fiction film?
I've got a good idea what they'll be.
Yeah, but we're probably not doing most people's favourite Bruce Willis science fiction film. Never mind. What's your feeling on Bruce Willis, Chris? You like Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
Alex?
Yeah.
I love Bruce Willis. I love him.
I'm signed up.
Yeah.
I've never watched... It's one of them actors where you've never gone, that was poorly acted, that.
No.
It's you've totally bought it.
And I'll just say one more
top
time.
To bottom.
Hudson Hawk, definitely not a science fiction film.
Definitely not, sorry. I love that film too.
Damn it. Okay.
Die Hard 4 has got a lot of high-tech tech.
It's awful though, isn't it?
Which might not.
It's a really bad film.
Die Hard 4 I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
4.0.
Awful.
Yeah.
Right, so get in touch at SF Rating System on Twitter, sciencefictionratingsystem.com. That's got the list on it, and you can comment and stuff like that.
New website looks lovely.
Yeah, we've got a proper website now.
We've got Star Wars on there without the Episode 4 A New Hope bit on the titles, unnoticed, on the list.
That's not my fault, I can't control that.
Oh, okay.
I've outsourced the list. It's a big data.
Is it to the Trade Federation?
Yeah. So who are we? Alex, who are you? Where are you?
At Love Horror, website, Twitter, all that. So yeah, find that, please.
Brill. Chris?
Chris Redding at Twitter and all that. Instagram.
Cool. Instagram.
Yeah. I'm more into Instagram now.
You're Chris J. Redding on there, aren't you?
I am, yeah. Someone's got Chris Redding. Can't get hold of him.
And I'm Sam Draper, Will the Robot on Twitter, samdraper.net for music, and that's it, I think. So, see you next week to preview Bruce Willis. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.